Hello again. So, I was thinking about something. I just came home from work, and on the way home, I was reflecting on something I heard Daniel Priestley say in a podcast once with Ali Abdaal. And I think that is something that has not been put enough emphasis on. I've been listening to a lot of content about how to start a business, mindset surrounding it, things to be aware of, how to go about it, frameworks from a lot of different people. Um, and something that's not really talked about a lot is like the personal development side of it. Actually being ready to start a business, to have a business. I feel a lot like it's both, it's like two-sided because I feel often it's talked about in a sense like you got to start before you're ready to start. Like you're never going to be ready to start, you might as well just start. And like I agree with that because I think one of my core issues that's also preventing me from moving forward in my own process is definitely that mentality of like I can first start when I'm ready. But it's true, you're never going to be like truly ready, I guess. um Also very important, I have already started two businesses. I had a pancake business for a very short period of time, and I had a diving business where I did spearfishing trips for companies. I still have the same company, I just don't do diving anymore. Um, but I think something that's really important to know and to realize, and this is what the point of this whole thing is, what Daniel Priestley said in that podcast specifically, with Ali Abdal, was he said, if you've been struggling for a long time, if you've just not really had momentum, if you just can't get this thing off the air, if you keep running into a wall, maybe you're just not ready. Maybe you're just not ready yet. Maybe you're not in a position right now where starting a business is the right thing to do. And that was definitely true for me. It's I think it's been true for me both times when I like started a business on a personal level, because the first time with like the whole pancake thing I did, it's like 3 or 4 years ago. I had a half a year of complete burnout afterwards. Learned a lot, sure. Um, if I'd had knowledge previously, I would not have had to go through that, and I had to extend my education as a physiotherapist for with half a year more, prolongated because of that period of absence from studying because I was sick with stress. And last time also, it's about 1.5 years ago, I was just not ready. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I was trying stuff out. I was doing some workshops and like trying to, and I'm happy I did that and gained some experience from it. I have had success with it, but I'm also very happy that I 1.5 year ago I just like I pulled the handbrake completely and just stopped. Um, that was 100% the right call. If I had continued down the path because of stubbornness or because of like listening to advice of like you gotta go hard, you gotta just like keep grinding, all of this thing, I would have burned out again 100%. I did burn out again, but that was not due to my company, that was due to other factors in my life. And if I would have had that happened half a year ago approximately, if I would have had my company still going on the side, that was like next to my full-time job also, I would have burned out like even harder. um I'm in a much, much, much better position now. And that is because of that advice that kept like ringing a bell in the back of my head of Daniel Priestley being like, well, maybe you're just not ready yet. And hands down, I've definitely not been ready. And it also depends on like ready for what exactly. Ready to like, start a full blown business and like quit your job and try to live of it, or ready to dip your toes a bit and to like try things out. And that this is also, it's such an important thing, I feel, to learn before getting into the process of becoming an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur and starting a business. Um, because if you do not know that there are different ways to go about this process, you will probably just hear the go hard or go home message, because that's the one that's like, rung the loudest, and you will crash and burn and learn it the hard way. And that's recommended, I would say, to try to avoid. And it's possible to do it other ways. And the way you do that is by seeking out knowledge, reading books, educating yourself. And I think that's really important. And I think the personal development aspect of that is really important. There is the whole business operations of how to start on a smart way. And there are a lot of people out there making great content for this. Noah Kagan, Ali Abdal, to a certain degree, Alex Hormozy. Some of his content is very go hard or go home, but a lot of it is also tailored, I would say, towards the very startup process. But he is very like go hard or go home. You also have what's it called? Y Combinator YouTube channel. There's a guy called Michael there who's also like talking about this kind of more soft way to start up. And I think that's really great. I think that's honestly for most people the way to do it. I don't have a background with anything business related from my family. My mom is a dentist assistant. My dad is an electrician. I have never ever, before like it was 4 or 5 years ago, I've never had like interest in entrepreneurial stuff. I guess I was always like great with ideas. I came up with like a lot of ideas, kinda. But like business and like the whole part of it, it just seemed to me like uh, so scummy. People who were rich, people who were rich, like when I watched saw people who were rich when I was younger, I would get this like kind of feeling in my body immediately. I would be like, okay, this is a person who's like, they're into finance. They are so focused on making money, and like I had this very close tie mentally between money and like just bad stuff, bad ethics, bad moral, bad person, bad people. Like if you were a person who wanted to make a lot of money and you made a lot of money, I would think immediately that you were like a bad person. Um, you like big corporations, kind of, bad stuff. And not sure where I was going with this now. I guess it's just previous mindset and like the go hard or go home kind of perspective of it, and it's just silly. And my mindset have changed a lot since then, and I'm very happy about that. I feel much more open. I feel much more informed. Funny, interesting, interestingly enough, you get more educated when you educate yourself. You get more informed when you seek information, and yeah, that's great. And I think that's a really important part before like setting yourself up for this journey, if that's what you want to do. I'm still very much at the beginning of the journey. I thought for a long time that I was further ahead, but for a long time with the business kind of concept that I've been trying to start up until now, I've had no idea what it was supposed to be. I've had no idea where it was supposed to go. Like I had sort of an idea, but no clear direction. I was running in circles and constantly being like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should it be this thing? And it was really stressful. And for a while, I was also trying to immediately jump out, like after my education, to be like, okay, now I'm starting a business, and I'm gonna try and make as much money so I can live off of it. And that did not happen at all. Like that's a shitty position to put yourself in. So I would definitely recommend to look inwards and think to yourself, am I ready right now to start a business? Am I ready to plunge in the deep end, or would it maybe be a good idea to just have a normal full-time job for a while? Something that you enjoy doing, or something that is just not too taxing on you. Something that will give you stability. And that's the biggest realization for me, is that I tried to start a business and try to like move forward, build something on top of a very unsolid foundation. I have not had a solid foundation personally, just within myself, without help from anyone else in my life before now. This is the first time in my life that I have a stable foundation. Before that, things were always so up and down, from like 1 month to the other, or like half a year to like the other half a year. Just always so many like up and down periods, with like really going hard, full hyper focus on something, and then just crashing and burning. And then like full depression, anxiety, stress recovery, and then going at it again. And I've done that so many times. And if that's where you are, if that's what's going on in your life right now, or other things for that matter, if you have illnesses, if you have personal issues, if you have financial issues, if you have relationship issues, problems in the family, whatever it like affecting you on a personal level to that big of a degree, you do not have a stable foundation. And if you do not have a stable foundation, it's not possible to start building other things on top of it. I can hear some thinking that like, oh, you just gotta grind harder. That will become your like stable foundation. Maybe, maybe, maybe not for me. I tried to do that. That was not fun. Um, it feels more fun now. It feels like I have excess energy, and this has taken me a long time to get here. I'm 30 now. I have a stable job. I have a stable income. I have a job that I am actually able to maintain, that's not draining me half to death. Uh, I've spent a lot of time and energy lately focusing on friends and family, and really trying to focus on things that makes me happy, brings me value, brings me joy and energy. Um, Health, exercise, food, diet, all of those things. And on a very personal level, mentally also, I got diagnosed with ADHD 4 years ago, and a lot of things fell into place after that. I got medication also, which is helping me tremendously. Got therapy for a long time, spent a lot of time and money on therapy. Had to also process and filter some people from my life, and that has been uh, tremendous, tremendous help. That has been doing that for myself, has put me in a much, much better position to be able to create something, to do something new, and to also just have trust and believe in yourself. Um, and I think that's really underrated. There's stages to building a business, and Daniel Priestley has this whole like framework for it. And he's one of the few that I've seen in like these frameworks that doesn't just go directly to like the business kind of thing of like, you know, generating an idea, testing it out, making an MVP, you know, product founder fit, product market, all of these, you know, business lingo. I'm still trying to learn the business lingo. Uh, but like pre all of that, there is a pre-stage, and that pre-stage is you. That pre-stage is yourself, because if that is not stable, you cannot start building other stuff. That is at least my opinion. That it's not going to be fun, it's not going to be nice. And I think in all this business lingo, you hear so much about like there, you know, a lot of very rich entrepreneurs are, I'm reading. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm listening to it, but whatever. I'm re-consuming Millionaire Fastlane, and it's a really good book. It's by a guy called DeMarco, and it's really, really good. Uh, it's also a bit douchey. It's a bit pretentious, but it's really good. The core messages of it are really good. But in that, he's really like shit talking on having a normal job. It's very much like, he's dividing it into this, like, you have the sidewalk, which is just like people who are mindlessly not having any clue about what they're doing, spending all their money. Then you have the slow lane, which is, the classical get a job, stable 9 to 5, and save up on your pension, all of this, investments, slowly build wealth over time. And then you have the fast lane, which is basically start a business, get rich. And like, I get it. I think it's great. I think there's so much truth to it, and it's really opened my eyes to other ways of looking at finances and generating income. Because before I read this book, I had no idea that this was possible. Not at all. I thought you gotta get a job. I thought you gotta, like, as you said, you had to like build your intrinsic value in order to earn more money. You had to take more education, more courses, and then you can get a higher salary or a new better job. um, and the whole concept of like detaching your income from time, detaching money from time, it has been really big revelation for me. So overall, it's a really good book. My core point here is, let me just backtrack mentally because now I went on a tangent. My core point with all of this was, fuck, uh, it was, give me a second, I'm almost there. Yes, I got it. That he's very he's very like shit talking on just having a normal job, being a normal person. It's put out to be like this fucking, like, if you do that, you're retarded. Like, you're living a normal life, and that's, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, I think it's kind of shitty. I think it's kind of shitty because I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's great. I also really like Ali Abdal for really normalizing this part and not making you feel like shit for just having a normal life. You can have a really great life like that. Um, but I think it's really important to do that, to have a normal job. Like, I think there's some like criteria that you should try and strive to be able to do before venturing into something as difficult as starting a business, because starting a business is really difficult. It's put out to this like, oh, you just gotta start and you just gotta learn as you do, and it's like, yeah, okay, but it's really difficult, which is why not that many people have businesses and the majority of people have jobs, because it's really difficult. And people are like, yeah, but once you know it, it's not actually that difficult. It's actually easy once you know how to do it. It's like, yes, great. That's how it is with everything. Like, everything is easy once you know how to do it. But the process of getting to the I know how to do it, where it actually becomes easy, is very different from learning to ride a bike and learning how to start a business. Those two things are very different. It's much easier to learn how to ride a bike and be like, oh, it's easy once you know it. Like, with the business, that's difficult, man. It is difficult. There's so many steps to it, and if you do it wrong, you can really corner yourself. Something that I also am very happy that I have realized now is that there are different kinds of businesses. There are good businesses, good business models, and there are bad business models. For me, when I came out of like studying from being a physiotherapist, I went out straight to being self-employed. But I was self-employed at a clinic where I paid uh, 60, no, 40% of my whole income to that clinic to be allowed to be there and practice. So this is not being self-employed. This is being self-employed. This is being self-employed, but with, like, without all the good stuff of being self-employed. I did not control my hours. I did not control my patient flow. I did not control my income. I didn't have like any levers to pull. This is a terrible situation to be in. I basically had, I was basically employed, but without any of the benefits of being employed. I had no security. If there was not enough patients, I did not have like an income, and I couldn't control how many patients I got because that was none of my business. That was the clinic who decided kind of that. and they were not very good at it, which meant that often I did not have a lot of patience, and I was just like, oh, this is how it is to be like a self like you employed, but at least I have a little bit of a higher salary, and like, and it's like, yeah, okay, but you gotta pay yourself pension, you gotta pay like yourself when you're sick. You don't get any money when you're sick, right? You do that when you're employed. Vacations, downtime when there's no patients, like all of that, and a lot of other things, right? And all the worrying that comes with it. And it's like, if you don't know how to create an actual good business based on an actual good business model, based on actual reasonable good business principles, you're going to put yourself in a very not nice position of being an entrepreneur. You're going to end up building yourself a job where you're going to be an even bigger time slave than you are working a normal 9 to 5 job. In Denmark, it's 4 to 16 job. That doesn't matter, because you're going into entrepreneurship with the mindset of an employee, which means that you are gonna build some kind of job for yourself without having an employer, and you're gonna be like, now I'm self-employed, which is technically correct, but you basically just build yourself a job without any of the benefits of having a job, being like a solopreneur. And it can work, but it's really risky. If you take a day off, the whole company shuts down. When you're on vacation, the whole company is shut down. You have to generate everything yourself. You are the business. And like, that's not a good business model at all. That's really risky. And it's not scalable. It's not scalable beyond your time. It's an hourly paid business because you're the only one there to do the work. If you're doing like a service business kind of thing. Uh, so I think it's really good to just get stable, build a foundation, have a stable income. And I think, as I was like trying to get at before this new tangent, there should be some pre-criteria that would just be like, this is really good to be able to do before going into entrepreneurship. First of all, just being able to hold down a normal 9 to 5 job, like being stable and being there on time. I've had like really big issues in my life of being stable and being on time. My friends and family can testament to that. Uh, Making your bed in the morning, having groceries in your refrigerator. Um, I don't know, being just stable, right? Having a social friend group where you're seeing people and having quality of life time with people, human beings. I feel it's like either you're this, garage kind of human being, just not seeing anyone doing anything. It's like also, Alex Homos, like, you just gotta like zone in, and you gotta just like, you fuck friends, fuck girlfriends, like just get rid of it all and just like work, 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 work. And it's like, okay, uh, what about like having a life? And I get it that it's like, if you wanna do extraordinary things, you also have to, like, if you want to reach extraordinary results, you also have to put in extraordinary work. Makes sense. Ali Abdal also made a great video about it. Like, if you really want to like earn a shit ton of money, uh, you have to put in the work, because that's exceptional. It's like being an athlete. If you want to be a top athlete, you have to put in the work. You can't go out drinking every weekend. And that's also prioritization about what you want in your life. And for me, I just need more stability. That's what I realized. I needed stability. I needed a foundation. I needed financial foundation. Like, had also another criteria for like running a business. It's just like, are you able to make a personal budget for yourself? If I dialed time back like 3 years, I did not have a personal budget for myself. I had no idea what I was spending my money on. When I was in high school, I was on student loans all the time. That's normal in most parts of the world. In Denmark, we are paid to go to school, and it's sometimes unusual to have student loans, but um, uh, privileged, I know. And long live social democracies. Go for it. But like, I was spending money left and right on stupid stuff. because I had undiagnosed ADHD, which meant that I was constantly impulsive and not able to control impulsive, which is the definition of being impulsive. And that sucked because I didn't have any money and I had to call my parents all the time. And that was just, or like take loans. It's not a fun position to be in. It's just like if you're struggling with these kind of things on like such a fundamental level, it, it's not building a business is not a good idea. Like if you can't even manage your own personal budgets, finances, whatever, of like don't spend more than you earn, know what you're spending your money on, make sure that you have enough money to pay the bills, kind of stuff. Like I have like the same reoccurring uh, bill that comes once time per year in June, which is kind of soon. But now I know it. Before I didn't. It's my insurance, and it's quite a big sum of money. It's like I think $800 or something. Um, I would get like just as like bamboozled, surprised every single year when that bill came, and I would be like, "Oh my god, I don't have any money to pay this. What the fuck am I gonna do?" And it was like every year since I was 18 when I started paying my own shit, right up until I was like 4 years ago. It, yeah, it's been like looking inwards a lot for me, but it's been 100% the right call. I'm in a much better position. I've never been more stable in my life than I am right now, and that's a lot for me. That's a really big achievement for me. And I think those steps, like if you have the like starting line of starting a business here, right, and we're going forward this way, I think that you're forgetting all of the steps that came before. And some people have that naturally. Maybe they're just more organized. Maybe they don't have ADHD. What do I know? Maybe they just you know have a high IQ. Whatever. Maybe they're raised in an entrepreneurial family, so they learned this like stuff from home. All of this was already taken care of. It's like bam, all right, make a business. But for me, that was not the case at all. Like first of all, I had no interest in it, uh, or at least I thought I didn't, and I just never really cared about learning any of the stuff. I didn't have anywhere to learn it from. I had Spanish, English, and philosophy as my mains in college. I'm a physiotherapist. We don't learn anything about business. I hate everything to do with money. I don't do as much anymore. I don't hate money anymore, but I had a really bad relationship with money in a lot of ways, and my mindset around it. I never had a care in the world for how money works, for earning money, like anything of that. And that's just such a central component to running a business. A business is essentially some like a way to earn money, right? Um, yeah, and all of this that like goes before with building yourself to a place of stability and having the foundation is something that I think is really not talked a lot about, enough about, and it's like very core, simple personal development things of the simple stuff, the basics. And I think that's really important. That is it for now. That is all I have to say. This should only, in my mind, this was a 5-minute video. It is no longer a 5-minute video. But uh, again, I do not know if anyone is listening to my rants. But if someone is listening to my rants and it is in any way, shape, or form providing value to you in your life, then hello and thank you for listening to this monologue. And you can put a like on the video and subscribe. And if you want, you can like I would actually be more happy if you put a comment. If you got anything from this, I would be really appreciate if you can comment, and that would be cool. And then liking and subscribing also, like because I'm trying to build like a YouTube channel and stuff. So that's also cool. Yes, that is it for now. I hope you have a great day and bye bye.